Welcome back to The Boys in the Iceberg. That's right, The Boys in the Iceberg, the podcast where we watch The Legend of Korra. As always, I'm Caleb Bader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
Hey, welcome back, Harley.
Hey, thanks
It's been
for having
a
me.
while since you were last on this podcast.
Couple weeks.
I think 3 months ago now.
If you haven't heard, I was down with ulcerative colitis.
Ulcerative colitis and hemorrhoids.
Yep.
Two separate instances.
It was rough.
But he's back in fighting form, I think.
Maybe. I'm coming out of it.
Okay,
Coming out of
good. We're on the other side of the proverbial mountain, as it were.
Yeah. There's a glass pane between Caleb and I because it's still kind of infectious.
Actually, I'm going to say that Harley's actually in a bubble suit right now. He's not allowed to leave that.
Caleb's very particular about his germs.
Yeah. So we got two methods of security there with the glass and the bubble suit.
Caleb's actually in his own bubble suit as well. So there's
but
two
I'm
bubble
always
suits.
in my bubble suit.
Yeah, always.
So that's not anything different.
We probably should have told you that when we first started the show. Caleb's constantly in a bubble suit. Now you got a good image of what Caleb looks like. And now I'm in a bubble suit.
Because it's an opaque bubble suit. It's pure white. No one's ever seen what I actually look like.
It's nice. It's a good look for him, really.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So welcome to part 1 of our finale of The Legend of Korra. Got anything you want to add there, Harley?
No, but I'm back. If you didn't catch the first part,
They did. They almost certainly did.
I'm just gonna be here quickly,
Unless you're
gently
real
reminding them.
Unless you're real weird and skipped like 2 minutes into the podcast, just don't listen to the intro.
That's how we should do. We should just jump right into the podcast and have no introduction, and then at the end of the podcast, introduce the podcast.
That's an awful idea.
And
You know what an introduction means?
People would be really confused, and I love it.
Yes, they would. But we're starting off with our part 1 this week. We're going to watch the first episode of the hour-long series finale, The Day of Colossus. And then next week, we might get some guests on. We might have some special segments.
We might not even do next week's podcast. Who knows?
We might wait a year and then come back a year later and finish up the series.
Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah.
Or
but
not find out. Whatever.
It's going to be interesting because we've been doing this for over a year. We started off with Avatar: The Last Airbender and have now done the entirety of Korra. And I don't know what I'm going to do with my life after this is over.
I'm going to jump in front of a moving train. That's what I'm going to do.
There we go.
You don't have anything close to that?
I don't have any
Relative?
suicide planned yet, but you never know.
I plan on
in a
living.
couple weeks.
I plan on living.
Oh, you're just going to...
Yeah, just jump in front of a moving train.
Okay, there you go.
It's going to be my biggest stunt yet. So
A regular Evel Knievel over here.
thank you.
Okay, so Harley, why don't you give us a little bit of the overview of Day of Colossus?
Yeah, I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, but you got
since
to.
I have it pulled up, I guess I will. Okay, Natalie's out sick as well, so she can't read this for us. So I guess I'll.
Yeah, that's
pick
a really old bit that
pick up the
no one
slack.
remembers.
No, so Team Avatar escapes from the rubble of Future Industries factory and devises a plan to take down Kavira's giant mecha suit. The Benders try to slow the suit down, but his power overwhelms them. Varric tries to use an electromagnetic pulse to short-circuit the giant mecha, but fails, only disabling a battalion of much smaller mecha suits that weren't really posing a threat at all. Hiroshi Sato is temporarily released from prison to aid Asami, Varric, and Julie in repurposing the hummingbird suits for combat use. While working on the suits, Hiroshi and Asami bury the hatchet, so to speak, and Varric successfully buries the hatchet with Julie, but also creates another hatchet. It's called marriage.
Harley, please,
she said,
please
yes.
read it verbatim.
Tar Jr.
Don't
reveals
add
a way
your
to
own
disable the
stuff in
giant
there.
mecha, and a team uses it to create a plan aimed at infiltrating the sun itself. Using a plasma saw rigged hummingbird suit, Hiroshi and Asami successfully cut a hole in the leg of Kavira's mecha suit. Seconds before Kavira crushes their suit, Hiroshi ejects Asami from it, saving her life, sacrificing his own, because of the hole, Korra, Mako, Bolin, Lin, Suyin, and everybody else into the mecha suit. And we're off.
You're really taking some artistic liberties with the reading there, and I don't appreciate it.
It says all that.
Oh, no, I know it says that.
All of that.
I don't appreciate the pauses in between words, like
didn't
you're
happen.
a William Shatner or somebody like that. But yes.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so we watched Day of Colossus, the second to last episode, and let's talk a little bit about it. I know you don't remember what happens, Harley.
I don't, because I fell asleep about 4 times.
Yeah. So basically, it's the build up to the fight, the penultimate episode, where they're getting everything where it needs to be so they can beat Kuvira in the next episode.
I'm not invested in this fight at all.
Well, you haven't watched the past 3 episodes.
I have not been invested in the past any episodes.
No, I haven't either. But I feel like I'm a little bit more invested because I've seen.
Yeah, but I read the summaries and I listened to the two podcasts. I know I was bedridden for a while there, but I have listened to the last 2 podcasts.
You have bed sores now?
Yeah, what else am I going to do, when you have
You could have watched the episodes.
ulceravitis, hemorrhoids crawling over your body.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They're crazy, man. But, just listen to the podcast. So I do. And I have a good feeling of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm not invested in these episodes. I'm not invested in this episode. I'm not invested in the show anymore. We got little to no Korra in a show with a titular character. We
haven't had a lot of Korra in this last season.
I don't understand this last season at all. Like I get no, okay, sorry. I do understand the last season. I don't understand why we have such a small amount of the titular character in this last season. You created this show, then you give us this season after your viewership drops off on the internet, and you give us a very little of the main protagonist.
So,
and I have no idea why you're doing that.
It doesn't seem like
that's not directed at you when I say you're. Obviously, if you would have written this show, I'd stab you in the head right now.
I understand. I mean, it's a little.
I'm
like
holding a knife to his head
verbal
right now.
cue that I can pick up on. You don't need to explain for our listeners.
I'll put the knife away then.
We haven't gotten really a lot of any one character in particular. It's all been really fragmented, and I almost feel like we've gotten more of Kuvira than we have of anybody else.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like Kuvira's season, and we even got a section of Pema in this for some reason. Like, why do we suddenly care about Pema? We're 4 seasons in. I've just now freaking remember her name because you're giving her more screen time in the 4th season, the last season you guys have done, and I don't care about her little stint in the subway. I don't care. I don't care about Wu. I don't care about Bolin's cousin. I don't care about Bolin's grandma. I don't care about any of these characters.
So in the last episode, there is a part where Pema says, "Hey, we're not going to leave. We're going to stick around and help you, Tenzin, because that's the right thing to do." So I feel like that's why they brought her back. But we could have not had that at all.
That could have not been Pema, though. That could have been literally anybody else.
And as for Wu, I mentioned in the last episode, they're really setting him up to be a good king, even though he showed no signs of that prior to this at all.
Yeah, I remember that from the first time I viewed this show. So Caleb, we've now officially seen this show one time through.
No,
well, except for the last episode. But so I'm basically caught up. It's been a couple of years since I've seen these episodes, but I remember that he doesn't deserve to be king. If you're looking at like it being passed down as a dynasty, then yeah, he definitely deserves that. But
a dynasty.
But since Kuvira has come in and taken over, he's not a good ruler. If people just want to back Kuvira, then whatever. She's not going about it the right way now because she has a giant mecha suit. She's blowing stuff up. So I don't know where that came from all of a sudden. I guess I missed that.
The mecha suit?
No, like I get this. Yeah, thank you. I know that she has the mecha suit. I know she's blowing stuff up, but I don't know why she. I don't know why she decided to be like, hey, all right, I'm gonna blow stuff up now. Like, why not just?
Because she feels that Republic City is part of they stole it from the Earth Kingdom, basically.
So she's gonna tear it down.
Well, she's gonna take it back.
That's her plan, is to destroy it, take it back?
Well, she's not. She doesn't want to destroy it, but she will do that if that's what it means to take it back.
That's dumb.
Not really.
No, it is.
I mean, I would... Okay, so somebody steals something from you. I would rather destroy it than let them use it.
No.
Yeah. Especially if it's land, because you can always just build back up on that.
Yeah, you can, but like...
It's more a principle thing.
Yeah, but if she's going to take it back because she wants it because she thinks it's her right to have it, then she goes to bring it back. She's now destroyed it. She's destroyed the people's trust in her to have it. So she
doesn't care about that.
Listen,
she cares about power.
Look at logic, Caleb. Look at logic. If let's look at the idea of her doing that. Then you have all these people in the most heavily populated city on this earth. Then and you don't kill them. You're just destroying their homes and stuff like that because they've already evacuated. They don't any longer have trust in you. So whether or not you succeed in this, they're not going to align with you.
You don't have to.
You're going to have revolutions on your hand.
No.
You're going to have rebellions. You're going to have a war on your hands.
You would have that anyway.
It would not work out well for you if you just walk in there peacefully and said, "Hey, listen, like I don't think she's not going about this the right way. I want to back Kuvira.
She already tried peacefully,
but I want to be like, hey, listen, Kuvira, do what you were doing with the bandits in the small villages, just on a larger scale. Hire some thugs to go in there and ruffle up Republic City, ruffle up the politicians, and then they'll be like, hey, listen, Kuvir's a way out. Give him another option. And they'll be like, hey, that's a good idea.
So actually, Korra and them are in the wrong here, and Kuvira is technically in the right. She shows up, and she bargains with President Raiko in the past episode, and he turns the city over to her. So at this point, you have actual legal, not really legal because they haven't written anything down, but she should actually be in control of the city right now, and Korra and all them are actually starting a rebellion against her right now. So she's completely within her right to kill them.
All right, so I'm going to go home and I'm going to rewatch, or I'm going to definitely rewatch these last 2 episodes, which I don't want to do, but I'm going to need to so I can evaluate this entire
Form an
series.
opinion. Yeah.
Because I went back and rewatched that episode with when we were doing Avatar: The Last Airbender of Uncle Howard redirecting lightning that I missed. Thank you, Elijah, for stepping in and doing my part.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to have to rewatch those, get a good opinion on those, and tell you guys how much I hate this show still.
I don't hate the show.
I do.
I really don't.
I don't.
This last season's bad, but overall, I think we got some pretty cool stuff.
I don't think there's worthwhile stuff in there. Like, obviously, I've seen this show now twice. Obviously, we're 1 episode away from it being twice. And I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender maybe 2 or 3 times. But I do definitely, I don't think one viewership is going to change me remembering, because since it's not just one movie, it's not like an hour and a half long movie, it's a days long, of a show. So I don't think it would change my memory much of watching it 3 times as opposed to 2 times. I do not think Legend of Korra is as memorable, as exciting, and it doesn't have as good characters.
Definitely
the
not.
villains are nice, but I don't think largely this show. I say this about a lot of things, but largely this show is forgettable.
Oh yeah,
it is.
I think that I could watch the first season over again.
The villains are the only thing that stand out to me.
Yeah,
like that's it. And I will lump Korra, I will lump Kuvira in, like this into Kuvira with the mecha suit thing. I don't like. So because of that, she loses a lot of points for me. So I'd lump her right above season 2 villain, not Vaatu.
Unalaq,
right above Unalaq.
So yeah, it is kind of weird because they, I think they really like jumped the gun a little bit with having the embodiment of evil serve as the season 2 villain.
I think we talked about that a long time ago.
Yeah, we definitely did. But I think it's still pertinent, even though Zahir was awesome. I really love Zahir. I think he's the best villain in my opinion. I like Amon's really close.
I like Amon. Yeah,
Amon was really good. But when you have like the physical embodiment of chaos and evil as your villain, where do you really go from there?
Yeah, that's like taking Joker. All right, we're gonna ground this in some DC stuff. This is for you, Mason. All right, this is for you. That's like taking Joker, having him as a villain. He's grounded. He's physical. He just messes stuff up and kills people. Right? Okay. And then he
just wants to watch the world burn.
All right, we'll have him for season 2. Season 1, you have the Riddler. All right, simple guy. All right, just creates some confusion, kills some people occasionally.
I think that he's actually the most complicated of the Batman villains because of the riddles.
But if you watch how the Riddler is construed, Joker's the worst of the 2 villains. So we're going up in scale of worseness. See what I'm saying?
I don't actually.
All right, so
worseness.
Yeah, all right. Of strength.
That's not a word.
Of strength. Of intimidation factor. Of evilness.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so you have the Riddler for season 1.
I just feel like complicated is not the right word.
Season 2, whether or not I said complicated, I don't care. We're moving on past that. And Riddler for season 1, Joker for season 2, and then for season 3, you have Ares show up, a literal god. Okay, who is in this season? Who is actually in the universe? So I can use that. But a literal god of things. Okay, that's to fight these people. Like that's where you should be, instead of being like, hey, here's Ares, and then like, okay, the Riddler and the Joker. Like that'd be stupid.
I feel like to sort of not really deconstruct that point, but to move things around a little bit. First season, you got the Riddler.
Yes,
in this show, like Amon, basically. And I don't even the Riddler and Amon. I can kind of see.
I think that was a good comparison.
Second season, you have Ares.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where you got Vaatu. Well,
I was saying you if this is what you should have done. You should have put Riddler, Joker, and then Ares. You shouldn't have put have put Riddler, Ares, then Joker.
Although I will say, because it's a little bit different, because if you have the Riddler,
I'm just skipping the Unalaq part because I don't think
you got Ares, and then you have Joker, which is Zahir, which is arguably the best. Like Joker's obviously the best Batman villain.
He's the best one.
So it works it works in that sense, but then
Let's step back then.
right after that, you put in the Mad Hatter, and that is your final villain, which is Kuvira, basically.
Well, let's step back then. Like Christopher Nolan Batman series, since we're already in the Batman talking, he did it right. He gave you Scarecrow, which is a good villain. Is a pretty solid villain. He's on your
and Ra's al Ghul.
He's on your Riddler.
Well, I guess it's
your
Ra's al
Amon
Ghul.
level. He's on that kind of level. And then for the second villain, he gave us Joker, which was the best of those movies. And then the third one, he gave us The Dark Knight Rises. He gave us Bane, which was a really good villain, but still didn't hold up as well as the Joker did. Like, that's what I mean. I would have, if they would have ended with I love that series, but if they would have ended with the Joker, like if they would have built it up, they would have had the Scarecrow and then Bane and then the Joker. Like that's how they should have ended that series. Like they peaked. They peaked in the middle.
It's actually a good thing they didn't do that, because Heath Ledger would have been dead.
Oh yeah, no. But still,
yeah, I get it. So what were we talking about in Korra before the whole Batman?
Heath Ledger coming back to life to voice the next Avatar.
So in this episode, Korra and everybody, they escaped from the last episode where the building was blown up. And along with that building came the destruction of all of their hummingbirds, the flying mechs.
Which, have we seen those mechs up until now?
We've seen them sort of just sitting in the background, not really doing anything. But in this episode, we do get to see them actually fly around, and it's the dumbest design for any flight machine ever. I'm just going to say it.
I mean,
doing okay over there?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how much this episode has just haunted me. I'm so bored with it. I'm yawning. I'm so tired of it. But no, I don't like it either. I think it's stupid. I don't like that they were just suddenly just thrust it upon us. Like, hey,
well, no, they have set them up in the past.
These exist.
We just never saw them operational.
Like the mecha suits, I felt like were set up better. Like, hey, the mecha suits, we're creating them. They're gonna be fully functional. Blah blah blah. They're on the market. Blah 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 blah. You know, it goes on and on and on. And the next thing you know, they're evil. Like, that's cool. Like, because they set those up. But then with the hummingbird things, like, hey, these things fly, right? Yeah, all right. Like, we're just there all of a sudden.
You make it sound like they never introduced them.
I don't think they did.
Have. You haven't seen the past 3 episodes. They totally did.
Have I not seen the past 3 episodes?
No, and I can tell you right now that there were hummingbirds, albeit non-functional ones, in the past couple episodes. But all of them are destroyed now.
Good.
Basically. Except for some prototypes. As with every movie where they have a production of something, it's destroyed.
Not all of them.
Yeah, that's literally the line that they said in this show, which is
Thank you, Asami, for putting your 2 cents into the entire show.
Yeah, we need it.
You are much appreciated, and you're doing so much for this television show.
Yeah, and Korra and Asami are kind of, we get to see that their friendship is really fleshed out in these episodes.
We do, don't we?
No,
exactly,
not at all. There's nothing. I thought that there was going to be. We can't really get into anything else because of spoilers, but
we're 1 episode away from the finale.
Yes, we are.
And no relationships have been fleshed out in this,
I don't know why
this season.
I don't even know why we're speaking of this right now.
I don't either.
Because
hopefully Korra and Mako get back together.
Yeah, of course they're going to.
They've totally talked about that for the last 3 seasons.
There's literally been none of that. No relationship stuff, which is fine with me. I'm perfectly okay with that. But the only time they brought it up basically is in the clip show.
Yeah, y'all are going to get an earful next week.
Yeah. And not just by us, by our esteemed guests as well, that I promise we will have.
I don't promise anything.
Okay, so they're going to go out and try to stop this giant mech now, and they go about it in the worst way possible. Do they really have a plan other than fly in there with paint?
I think Mother of God. I think that they have a plan, but they don't tell the audience. They're just like, we have a plan, and they just act it out.
Yeah, so they just go in there, and I think their whole plan is to sort of take out the sight of this mech, and then just wrap some wire around its legs and take it down.
I guess it's their plan. I don't know. They don't tell us. They just do it.
Yeah, and it's kind of dumb because Bolin at one point uses his lava bending around the feet of this thing, which turns out is platinum, by the way, which cannot be metal bent because, the laws of physics, I guess. Platinum's not metal, apparently, anymore.
I don't know anything about metals to argue that, so.
I mean, you don't need to argue with it. But anyway, Bolin uses lava bending on its one foot, and it kind of staggers a little bit. Just do that with all of it. right?
Just melt the entire thing.
I don't know why you couldn't just melt farther down and sink it in lava. That seems to me perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. I don't know what. Where does their earthbending at level like end? Like clay wise, like there's sediment, and there's the dirt, and then there's like clay, and like what?
First of all, I need to understand what you're talking about.
Like how the layers of earth, like how far deep?
You got the crust.
How far?
You got the mantle.
Okay, shut up for a second. How deep does their ability to bend said earth go?
I don't understand.
Like, can they bend it all the way? Bend their metal all the way to the earth, all the way to the core?
Well, they probably aren't that powerful because that's a lot of earth.
You saw him lift a wall earlier, Caleb.
Okay, that's one wall.
A building.
You think that the earth is like lighter than a wall?
I think you do it by a section. Yeah, you don't lift the whole earth, you idiot.
I mean, yeah, of course he could sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. Basically, like dig down into the earth. Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, why didn't you do it?
And just dig a hole for the thing?
That's basically what you were saying, was melt the ground and drop the freaking thing in there.
I'm just saying do it a little bit more. I don't know why you're getting angry with me about this.
That's not...
I feel like this is a perfectly reasonable thing.
I can't agree with you in more depth without me sounding like I disagree with you, and then it turns into an argument.
It's not turning into an argument.
It's turning into an argument. We're arguing about it not turning into an argument.
I just don't understand where this is coming from.
Move on.
No, I will not. We're going to hash this out. I think that he should have lava bent all the way down to the core.
That's what I'm... Oh my God, no, we're moving on.
Actually, no, there's no way he could have gone all the way down to the core. But just go up to the knees at least. I feel like he's at least powerful enough to do that. While they're like trying to do whatever they're doing here, Asami and Varric, I think, are back trying to get these hummingbirds fitted up. Is that what's happening right now?
I have no idea. I think they're doing something back at the prototype HQ.
So, yeah, I think that they're trying to get the prototypes to work, and that's why Cora and them are just basically trying to slow this thing down. And their plan goes terrible. They get knocked out of the air because those robots got a giant cannon on it, and they have to go back to the tower and regroup. Oh, and I guess Varric sets off an EMP and takes out the smaller mechs. Yeah, and the EMP that Varric sets off only works on the smaller mechs and doesn't work on the big mech for some reason.
Well, we find out that it's because it's spirit vine controlled.
That's what they say it is. I'm not so sure that they just didn't want the EMP to work on the mech.
So that works. It works for me. I don't really care.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the spirit vine energy.
I don't care enough about it to know. I don't care enough about it to not believe it. So
yeah, okay. I guess that's where we'll disagree. But at this point, they go back to the tower and regroup, and Varric is like, "Hey, it's platinum." Or someone's like, hey, it's platinum. It doesn't matter who. And then Asami's father shows up. Yeah, we get some more of Hiroshi Sato.
I think that was when, was it Lynn showed up and was like, yeah, I busted him out of jail for like a day.
Did they say that, or are they just going to let him go? Because is this the second time they've let him out to help with something?
No, because the last time she went to go visit him.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
That's the last time we saw him.
So they set up that they're trying to piece their relationship back together in one episode, like 7 episodes ago, and now they're bringing him back. And Hiroshi and Asami have put aside their differences because he has laser cutters, plasma technology, something like that, that in the course of a couple hours, they're going to fit to these hummingbird machines so they can cut a hole in the side of this giant mech.
Which... Actually, the plan goes really well for them. They do cut a hole into this giant mech, and they're like in like the thigh or something like that.
Hold on. Before we get to that, though, we do have to bring up Varric because something happens before they go out on their mission.
No, I don't care.
Varric proposes to Zhu Li.
All right, great. Moving on. So they cut this hole into this giant mech with their hummingbird plasma thingies, and it's Asami and Hiroshi. And then the mech, I don't know, what is it, a step to the side or something like that? And Asami's about to die or something like that, and Hiroshi pushes him out of the way.
No, okay, so...
And Hiroshi dies, and Asami's like, oh, God, I'm sad. And that's the end of it.
Hiroshi is cutting a hole in this mech, and he's almost done, and he's like, sorry, Asami, I love you, or whatever, and ejects Asami, but it literally wouldn't make any difference. He's already done with the hole. He could have ejected himself as well, and everything would have been fine. But he decided to be the martyr and die for his daughter.
Maybe he just didn't want to go back to prison.
Is that it?
Maybe his prison
Was he
boyfriend
having-
him, or like in a fight or something.
I don't feel like he was in like the prison. I feel like he was in high class prison.
Maybe his high class prison boyfriend didn't like him then. Maybe they were having a
I don't think that that's what
tiff.
relationships are like in high class prison.
I've never been in high class prison. You've never been in high class prison. How do we know?
I just feel like, I mean, they've got other amenities, and I don't know. I don't know 100%, but I'm just saying.
Oh, I've seen prison movies. I know.
Oh yeah,
I know.
I've seen Prison Break.
Yeah,
I know what prison's like. Pretty good show, by the way.
it is.
Next season is actually, we're going to be talking about Prison Break.
Yeah, let's not.
No, I don't want to. I never finished the 4th season. Much like this show, the 4th season kind of falls off.
Yeah.
But it was a lot better than this show in its first 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, it was.
Okay, so then Zhu Li and Varric have already jettisoned because they almost got hit by the mech. And now Asami is floating back down to Earth. She's now an orphan.
Good.
Is it good? So that's just about the end of the episode. I think that the hole made by Hiroshi Sato is big enough for all of the people to get in there.
I think they do actually. They get in there at the end of the episode, and that is the end of the episode. Hiroshi dies.
Yeah.
Asami's freaked out. Everybody jumps in, and then we cut to black.
Yeah, we do. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. And what a great ride it's been. This 4th season has really stuck out to me as one of my most cherished memories.
But not just of just like the shows and TV shows in general, just of his life.
Of my life, yeah. I don't have a lot going on for me.
Well, it's pretty sad, really.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But I'm in the same boat, really, because this is my most cherished memory.
This is my favorite show now.
It is.
I actually love it. Okay, so that's the end of the show. Let's do some trivia. This episode, along with X-Men 3, The Last Stand, make up the only 2 episodes in Book 4 to be released together as an hour-long special.
And that's the episode after this?
Yes. X-Men 3, The Last Stand.
Gotcha.
The building on which the airbenders perch to overbalance the mecha suit. Overbalance? Is that...
I don't know, Caleb.
Is that a thing? Overbalance the mecha suit with their airbending bears similarities to the Flatiron Building in New York City, home of the Daily Planet.
Bugle.
No, the Metropolis Daily Planet, Harley.
Bugle. Not Metropolis.
No, yeah, the Flatiron Building in Metropolis,
your
the home of the Daily Planet.
No, so you got your cities wrong.
What are you talking about?
You're thinking of the fake city of Metropolis.
Metropolis, fake city? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like Gotham, but it's fake.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking of Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham's real.
Home of the Daily Bugle, where Batman works.
Also, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's also in Gotham.
Fun fact.
Batman and Spider-Man. It's funny how Bruce Wayne and Peter Parker work side by side, and yet they don't know each of the other ones.
I have the only time that you ever see them together. It's called
Gotham
Batman
by Gaslight.
Spider-Man or something.
Batman/Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Where Bruce Wayne, his parents die, and his Uncle Ben takes over it for him, and then Uncle Ben gets killed, and he becomes the Bat Spider.
The best Spider-Bat, I think, is a better name.
Oh, yeah. They probably should have gone with Spider-Bat instead of Bat Spider.
It's 2020, you know?
Yeah, you know. But, I mean, it was a pretty good comic. It's one of my favorites.
I definitely recommend it. You should read that.
Okay, so that's the end of the episode. We are going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back for just a few short thoughts on this series and Avatar, and maybe some predictions for the next episode. And we're back, and we are absolutely bubbling full of energy. I've just had 3 energy drinks. Harley just chugged an entire gallon of 5-hour energy, so he is fully awake and not tired in the least bit, and raring to go, right, Harley?
I actually feel like I have 2 hearts right now.
You're a veritable Time Lord.
I feel like I'm dying.
I don't understand how
there's so much energy in my body.
How does drinking a lot of energy drinks make you feel like you have 2 hearts?
There's so much pumping in my body.
It's just pumping really fast.
It's so fast. It's
Okay.
like they're just not in sync together, and one's pumping and then one pumps right after that. It's so much.
Let's actually take your heartbeat.
Which one?
Well, you just take one. You don't actually like feel the heart. I'm just going to feel the blood pump.
Oh, I
through
don't
your veins.
actually have 2 hearts. I drink a whole gallon of 5-hour energy though.
You think that grows a new heart for you?
Maybe.
No, let's just 250 beats per minute.
Is that bad?
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. Normal resting heart rate's around 170.
170. Mine usually about 240. So take that, pussy.
Oh, so that's not too much difference for you then.
It's not.
If it's a regular 240.
No.
Okay, so then I guess we don't have a problem.
It's fine, I guess.
Let's
Just a little fast.
Yeah, let's move on from that. If we have to take into the emergency room, I guess you won't hear this because the podcast won't be up because Harley will have died.
Thank God.
Okay, so I would just wanted to take a little bit of time and kind of talk about what we think is going to happen in the next episode. Now, obviously, Harley has already seen this next episode, but I haven't. So I thought that we might just like sort of go through what we want to happen and what I think will happen. So Harley, if you want to get us started with that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say some off-the-wall things or some not off-the-wall things, and you guys can decide whether or not I genuinely think they are true predictions or if they actually happen in the next episode from my memory.
So you're just going to say some things that could be true or not, and then we have to decide?
Basically, Caleb. Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
This will be fun for me.
It will, because you haven't seen the episode. I think that I think a couple main characters are going to die in the next episode. I do.
That could be.
And
We already got one semi-main character.
I'm
Sami's
thinking
father.
one Beifong character.
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
I think
wait,
because they're not main character enough.
extended
but
family
we love them
Beifong
enough.
or
No,
Suyin and
not
Lin?
like Suyin and Lin.
Okay, yeah.
I think one of them's going to die.
I could get behind that. Hey, you want to play 2 truths and a lie?
Yeah.
Okay, but all lies. Okay, so for this game, you just go ahead and tell me 3 lies, and I have to guess which one's the truth.
And that's the only rules for that?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, just go ahead.
All right, so number 1, I once ate an entire paper plate and pooped out a cat.
Okay, so when I came up with this game, the idea was for it to be about the next episode and not necessarily just personal information about you. I kind of had a Korra theme spin on it. But we can go with this too. Do you want to repeat that? Whatever you just said?
Sorry, I'll speak up for you, Caleb. What I said was, in this next episode, I think Korra is going to make herself a new hat.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Korra's never been real crafty, but I think she gets some of that from her mother.
Has she ever worn a hat?
Maybe.
And what is your beef
in
with
the
Korra's
snow?
mother?
No, I don't have beef with Korra's mother. I think that she's actually a very nice person, a very nice lady.
Do you even remember her first name?
Domalek.
You know what? You know what? No, I'm done with this whole thing. You can't even get a name right.
I mean,
you're a disgrace. We're trying to do a podcast here. We're talking about characters. We're talking about the main character's mom, and you got nothing. Domalek, what is that? Sounds like a paper plate company. Get out of my face.
I don't think this needs to turn into a shaming of me. I think it was fine when you didn't shame me.
Oh, you upset now?
No.
You're gonna cry?
No.
Little baby gonna cry?
I'm not going to cry.
Little baby gonna cry?
No, I'm not going to cry.
Let's talk about Korra. So I think the next one is going to be Korra and Mako are definitely going to get back together.
I'd say that because they really they put a lot of weight into that relationship.
They did, didn't they?
And they've still even set it up in this season. So
Now-
I feel like it's actually going to pan out, and they might actually go off together somewhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking this kind of maybe they might walk off into a spirit world or just
Oh
this,
yeah, I can see that.
or
Go
the
hang
swamps
out.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Some
I can see
spirit related
that.
thing.
Probably.
Because like you said, they set it up. It was set up
They really actually leaned into the relationship even in this season.
well from the first episode of the first season.
Yeah.
They dove right into it. It was they did that little I don't know, it's not a vignette. What is it with it shows her just she's all swooning over Mako at the very first episode.
I don't know what you would call that.
But she was drooling and whatnot, and Mako's just ugh, get out of my face. It was
That's another thing I want to talk about. They really not leaned into the anime stuff as much as they did in the
Avatar:
previous.
Last Airbender.
No.
Oh, you're talking about this season comparatively.
even in the first season, they were really pretty hard on that the anime style, and it's petered out.
They used the chibis in the clip show.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really count because that was an afterthought. But even stylistically in the main episodes, they really haven't gone as much into that aesthetic as they used to.
Well, they suck. So what can I tell you?
Okay, there you go.
All right, and for my third and final truth lie thing, I think Asami's secretly a man, and she's going to have a beard in this final episode.
So she's going to spontaneously grow a beard?
Yes, she's going to take Zahir's fake beard.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to...
Okay.
Turned out it was hers the entire time. She's been shaving it.
She was Zahir the entire time?
And she's Zahir.
Wow, I can't believe those are all lies.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that we'll look forward. Maybe some of those are true.
Tune in next week to see it to believe it.
And if Asami was Zahir the whole time, because was she really present in that third season all that much?
Nope.
I don't think so.
You know why? Because she was Zahir.
Because she wasn't. But what about the prison? Because he's in prison now.
Well, she's thin enough to squeeze between those bars.
No, but there were no bars. He was chained to the.
Were there no bars?
Were you here for that episode? I don't remember.
I don't.
Because he was chained up to the floor.
I got nothing.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. Personally, I think that Korra is going to somehow defeat Kuvira. She might take away her bending, but she's definitely going to take down the mech from the inside. And I think I can say that with about 75% certainty. I assume that Korra will go into the Avatar state at one point, and I think that Kuvira's hair is going to get more disheveled than it already is, because that's how you show that a villain is losing their grip, as we have seen done so successfully in the previous series to this with Azula. And I think that actually Kuvira is Azula. I'm going to backtrack and say that's what so? That is now. Yes.
What does she use? She like some aging cream, something?
Yeah, and she turned herself into a metal bender.
That's pretty cool.
Proactive.
Pretty cool.
That's for zits, not anti-aging, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't use it.
But maybe this is because I think that she shares a lot of similarities with Azula. They're both sociopaths. They both their hair becomes disheveled at the end of the series.
That's so many comparisons. Yeah, you're doing great.
They both have the same color hair.
Oh, okay, I'm cemented in there now.
They're both benders. Female, of course, that goes without saying.
You're ranking up way too many.
And Azula does have the same mole that Kuvira has on her face.
Yeah, if you go back and watch the entire second and third season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, you'll see that mole on there.
Actually, that's just my fan edit where I went back to every frame of the second and third season.
Why on earth would you do that?
Well, because I really want this theory to pan out.
Who has the time?
I mean, it didn't take that long.
Don't you have a job?
It was only about
and kids.
It was 2 years working.
And a wife
working about 3 and 4 hours a day.
And a second wife.
No, I got rid of those. I don't care.
You got rid of the second wife or the kids?
No, all of it. I moved across the country.
Huh.
I'm actually from China originally, and I left my life behind to come over here.
Strange. Is that why your name is Caleb Chin? That makes sense. I get it now.
I think with that, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode. But rest assured, we will be back for an extravaganza next week. There's going to be bells, whistles, party hats, maybe.
Dogs, ponies, the whole show.
I don't think we have any room for animals in this room.
Some circumstance, some pomp, the whole thing.
Yeah, I would say some pomp and circumstances is called for, and frankly, overdue for this show. I don't think we get enough credit for just the yeoman's work we are doing here, because no one else has made it entirely through Korra.
We will be the first podcast in podcast history to actually podcast the entire Avatar: The Last Airbender show, the movie The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra.
And the only podcast in the history nominated for an Oscar, which is pretty exciting.
Because that's impossible. And
that's all thanks to you guys. And we'd like to hear from you, because you have made this all possible. So you can contact us with our Gmail, boysintheiceberg@gmail.com, or go ahead and check us out on Twitter @boysintheberg. As always, I've been Caleb Ader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
And we will see you here for the final time next week.
Bye.